Welcome to News Today, a PodNu service. Today is Saturday, March 19, 2022, Central European Time. This weekend's last 8 lineup for the FA Cup is a real treat for fans of the 1990s. There were 4 ties drawn out of a hat that reminded me a lot of when the 6th round day of football was one of the most important days of the year. The BBC and ITV both showed the competition again. Every single one of these teams started out in the Premier League in 1992. Middlesbrough and Nottingham Forest haven't had the best of times since their glory days, but they both took 2 Premier League teams down in their cup runs, so this weekend's opponents Chelsea and Liverpool can't underestimate them. Middlesbrough has only been to 1 FA Cup final so far, and it was against Chelsea. Roberto Di Matteo scored an unstoppable goal after just 42 seconds against a Bryan Robson team that had Juninho, Fabrizio Ravanelli, and Emerson on the field at the same time. In the 1988 playoff, Borough came out on top 2-1 on aggregate, ending Chelsea's top-flight career for the last time. The match was known as the Battle of Stamford Bridge, and there were fights both inside and outside the stadium. There has been a lot of bad feeling in the build-up to this weekend's game. Chelsea, who can't sell tickets to their own fans because of Roman Abramovich's sanctions, suggested that it should be played behind closed doors, which caused Borough chairman Steve Gibson to say, "Sporting integrity and Chelsea do not belong in the same sentence." Young Liverpool fans must be wondering why their fans still chant, "We hate Nottingham Forest." But it was Brian Clough's team of the late 1970s and early 1980s who knocked the Anfield club off their perch. First, they won the league title, then they knocked the winners of 2 consecutive European Cups out of the tournament before going on to win 2 of their own. As soon as the Premier League started, it was still very noisy. Teddy Sheringham's goal in the first game that was shown on TV in 1992 was not a big surprise at the time. The 2 teams haven't met since Forest's last relegation in 1999. So, of course, this match in the FA Cup will also bring back bad memories for many people, because 97 Liverpool fans died in 1989 when the teams played in a semi-final. Both Borough and Nottingham Forest had been struggling to make the championship in recent years. The Riverside has only played in the Premier League once in the last 12 years, while Forest have been out of the top flight for 23 years and have played in League One 3 times. In November, Chris Wilder came to Borough. The fans had grown tired of the way they played under Neil Warnock, who was fired when they were 14th. After 5 years at Sheffield United, it felt like a great deal for Wilder to get the job. In addition to taking Borough to the edge of the playoffs, he has done so with the eye-catching style that won him so many fans at Bramall Lane. Isaiah Jones, Dale Fry, and Marcus Tavernier are all getting attention from Premier League clubs, while Johnny Howson is pulling the strings in midfield. When Steve Cooper came in, Forest were even worse off. They had only won 1 point in 7 games, and their fans were tired of Chris Hughton's bad football. Nothing Cooper has done since he came to the City Ground has been bad. When Depeche Mode's "I Just Can't Get Enough" comes on after Forest wins at home, the fans love the Welshman's fist bumps. Forest is only second to Fulham in terms of form this season. Jed Spence, who is on loan from Middlesbrough, and Brennan Johnson, who is on loan from Nottingham Forest, are very good on the right. Kaynan Davis and Sam Surridge, who were signed in January, also help. The Giant Killers in the Championship have done more than anyone else to make sure that not all of the usual suspects are competing for a place in the Wembley semi-finals this time around. Matt Crooks scored a goal in the second half to give Middlesbrough a 2-2 draw with Manchester United in the FA Cup 3rd round. Then, in a penalty shootout, Middlesbrough won a thrilling game 3-2 at home to Mansfield with a late goal. Speaking after a night where a lot of attention was paid to how United missed chances and how Middlesbrough won, Wilder said, "The FA Cup is alive and kicking, especially in Middlesbrough. As for the 1-0 win over Tottenham, there was no doubt that Middlesbrough earned a home quarter-final match against Chelsea. Josh Coburn scored an extra-time winner. This is how it works. In rounds 3 and 4, Forest beat two previous winners who had already won. It was Lewis Graben's late strike that beat Arsenal. In the first 10 minutes of the first half, Nottingham Forest went 3 goals up against Leicester, and they did it in a crazy way. When Joe Worrell scored his third goal for Forest, a Leicester fan attacked home players who were cheering. Forest went on to beat them 4-1. Liverpool is coming to town this weekend for the first time since 1996. Ryan Yates, a local boy who just signed a deal that will keep him at the club until 2025, scored in the 5th round against Huddersfield to make it to the last 8. If either Chelsea or Liverpool are knocked out of the FA Cup this weekend, it would be the biggest surprise yet. Regardless, this year's FA Cup has already given new life to 2 teams from the past.